Another bombshell in the Sean Diddy Combs trial as a new alleged victim took the stand, backing up Cassie Ventura's claims and making some new ones of her own. This former assistant broke down on the stand, claiming she was sexually abused by Diddy and described how she was allegedly controlled and humiliated by the man who employed her.
You won't see her real face. The judge allowed a permanent pseudonym because prosecutors say Sean Diddy Combs punishes anyone who crosses him. But aliases can't muffle a voice, and today that voice is about to drag the trial into even darker territory, confirming Cassie Ventura's claims, adding fresh allegations of her own, and exposing the anxious glue that keeps employees orbiting Planet Diddy long after gravity turns toxic. Outside, a reporter shouts at an aide sprinting through the drizzle. Any comment on a Trump pardon? The aide keeps running. Inside, marshals shuffle Combs to his seat. His prepaid jail phone minutes are gone, so this is the only meeting he gets with his lawyers. He turns once, scans the gallery, and settles on the witness chair, now sliding forward. Hair hides half her face, but Mia's gloved hands grip the rails like someone stepping onto a small boat in a rough water. The room holds its breath. Start at the beginning, prosecutors say. Mia inhales. She was 22. Fresh degree, empty checking account, when Combs hired her in 2009. Job title, personal assistant. Actual duties, keeper of passports, fixer of jet lag meltdowns, guardian of the titanium briefcase packed with NDAs. If the studio needed rose-scented candles at 3 a.m., she found them. If Combs's mother wanted a Birkin delivered to Saint-Tropez in 12 hours, she learned to charm French customs. The highs were really high, she tells the jury, voice trembling. Private islands, Met Gala glam squads, tips big enough to cover 6 months' rent. And the lows. She pauses, eyes on the floor. The lows were very low. Why stay? Because proximity to a megastar printed credibility. Because one text from Combs could end a career before it began. Because trauma sometimes arrives wrapped in luxury and labeled opportunity. She learned to interpret mood swings like weather alerts, texting other staffers color-coded warnings. Green means jokes, yellow means hiding, red means run. Christmas week, 2009. The Los Angeles mansion overflows with family and producers, so Mia accepts a children's guest room with 2 bunk beds and cartoon sheets. She powers down at 2 a.m., phone charging on the dresser, darkness, half dreaming. She feels the mattress dip. Sean Combs, beer on his breath, eyes glassy, climbs on top of her. She freezes, mind sprinting while limbs refuse. He whispers, "You look good when you're quiet," then commits non-consensual sexual acts. She stares at the popcorn ceiling, counting candle burns in the drywall to stay present. When it's over, he smooths her hair, apologizes, tucks a Cartier love bracelet onto her wrist. "We're good, right?" A note on hotel stationery. She nods. Survival autopilot. At dawn, she showers until the water runs cold and catalogs reasons to pretend it never happened. Student loan debt Combs had promised to erase. Parents thrilled their daughter works for a legend. Friends who die for a backstage pass. She tells the jury, "I convinced myself I misunderstood what non-consensual meant." Trauma bond experts call that protective amnesia. Defense lawyers will later call it convenience. October 31st, 2015, Johannesburg. Cassie Ventura is filming a perfume commercial. Mia is handler, makeup restocker, unofficial therapist. Time difference from New York, 9 hours. At 3 a.m., her phone vibrates so violently it skitters off the nightstand. Battery at 4% shows 48 missed calls, 27 WhatsApps, 13 voicemails, all from a contact saved as boss man. The messages swing from pleading to apocalyptic. Answer, 2 minutes. You think you safe? Watch me ruin everything. Skull emoji. TikTok, 1 audio clip, played for the jury, carries Combs's low growl. Get on a plane now or your family sees every tape. Mia hears Cassie in the next suite, laughing with crew, unaware she's become a bargaining chip. Mia powers the phone off, curls on the tile bathroom floor, and dry heaves. She never boards the emergency flight. When she lands back in New York a week later, her apartment building's doorman hands her an envelope, a single photo of her parents' house. No note. Intimidation, prosecutors say, disguised as postcard. Picture champagne flutes clinking against yacht railings, fireworks powdering the Caribbean sky. A-listers trading resolutions none will keep. Mia's assignment: count the cash high rollers lose in Combs' midnight poker game. Clean bills only, sorted by denomination. She's methodical but slow. Sunscreen makes notes stick together. Combs leans over the chip table, eyes flaring. What's taking so long? If you can't run money, walk on water like Jesus and bring it. Laughter circles, half nervous, half entertained. Mia dashes to the lower deck to keep counting, misses the midnight toast. When the tally isn't done by 2 a.m., she pleads seasickness and persuades crew to ferry her ashore. But her passport sits in Combs' locked cabin safe. Stranded, she checks her phone. Vegas at sunrise. Just us two. Miss that flight. And you're dead to me. She returns to the yacht before dawn. No further words are spoken. The silence feels scripted. Years later, prosecutors will cite this as proof of isolation tactics. Remove support systems, trap the target, switch from rage to indifference so quickly the victim doubts the memory. Mia lists little things that never felt little. The silver ice bucket inverted over her head because Fiji bottles weren't chilled to Arctic standards. A fully clothed shove into an infinity pool after she booked the wrong Pilates instructor. A door slammed so hard on her extended arm that the elbow ballooned like a mango, followed by Combs docking 3 days' pay to teach accountability. Gift apology cycles followed. Tom Ford heels, Balenciaga bag, spa weekend at a man. Each peace offering rewrote the incident. He loves you enough to make amends. The jury scribbles. Several flinch when Mia describes hearing my bones click in the doorframe. Stylist Deontay Nash described identical whiplash. Cassie too. Prosecutors stitch the testimony together. Violence isn't random. It's ritual. Anger, attack, lavish contrition. Repeat. The pattern, they argue, elevates individual assaults into a racketeering scheme built on fear and hush money. Defense calls it fiery personality. After 8 years of 24/7 availability, Mia resigns. HR insists unused bonuses complicate her final check. She hires a lawyer. Combs erupts. I feed you and you bring lawyers? Mediation drags until both sides ink a settlement. $400,000 with a lifetime non-disparagement clause. After fees, she clears maybe $210,000. Enough for therapy, first and last on a studio in Queens, and 6 months' groceries. In court, she says, I'd give it back this second if it wiped the memories. Prosecutors hold up Exhibit 139, the cashier's check, a sticky note atop it. Family Forever 2023. Lawsuits against Combs Mushroom. A former bodyguard texts Mia, need your support statement for Puff. She throws her phone behind the couch, panics at the sound it makes hitting the hardwood, bolts outside to breathe. She ghosts the bodyguard for months, invents excuses, scuba retreat, silent meditation camp, dead battery, truth, I was terrified. Defense attorney Brian Steele projects Instagram grids onto jumbo monitors. Sun-drenched selfie with Combs holding Starbucks. Caption reads, one guy on the Forbes list, grabbing me a latte, no big deal. Video mashup of Mia's face superimposed on a woman delivering a baby. Doctor's face is Combs's. Caption, always letting me give birth to my dreams. How does a terrified victim joke about her rapist delivering a baby? Steele asks, voice suddenly sharp. Mia, Instagram is where you post the life you want people to think you have. For 90 minutes, Steele juxtaposes gushing captions against claims of rape and beatings. Mia stays composed until he reads her 2016 post. You're the coolest alien rockstar unicorn pizza slice, and we f***ing love you. He pauses. That's the individual who assaulted you, correct? She says. Yes, and none of those words kept me safe. Some jurors scribble, others stare straight ahead, faces unreadable. Experts later explain the paradox. Abused employees often perform loyalty online to avoid real-world punishment, and sometimes to convince themselves the nightmare is still a dream they can wake from. While Mia testifies, President Donald Trump fields a press pool question beside an impassive Elon Musk. Would he pardon Sean Combs? Trump hadn't been briefed, but cameras roll, and he riffs. I'd certainly look at the facts. Whether they like me or dislike me wouldn't matter. Cable news loops the clip by lunchtime. Rain tapers as court adjourns. Reporters dash for live shots. Spectators fold soggy umbrellas. Monday, Mia returns for redirect. Prosecutors tease encrypted WhatsApp voice notes. Combs allegedly issuing 3 a.m. instructions for a mood reset that involves silk ropes and phone confiscations. On the record, nothing is settled. Off the record, everyone senses the story's center of gravity has shifted, from Cassie's broken silence to an assistant who sometimes loved her boss and sometimes feared him more than death.